One thing that every human takes for granted is the planet we live on, and the thought of it not existing is nearly incomprehensible to us. After years of schooling, along with the previous weeks of in-depth research, I consider myself a pro on this topic. The 2021 article, The Effects of Climate Change from NASA.gov, states that global climate change has already had an observable impact on the environment. This ranges from the loss of sea ice to increasing ocean levels and increasing heat waves. Human actions affect Earth in many ways, almost all of which are negative. Many people ignore this though because they believe it doesn't impact them. For the overall benefit of the human race and planet we live on, today we will focus on the main contributors to the greenhouse effect, the side effects of greenhouse gases, and some possible changes that can be made in order to ensure the human race survives while keeping our planet healthy. We have become extremely accustomed to our modern luxuries to the point where we consider them essential. We rely on cars, electricity, manufacturing so much that we don't take time to think about how they achieve their service. One of the biggest contributors to the greenhouse effect is combustion engines. According to the 2021 article Sources of Greenhouse Gas Emissions by EPA.gov, 29% of all greenhouse gas emissions come from transportation. According to another EPA article titled Greenhouse Gas Emissions in Vehicles, a typical passenger vehicle produces 4.6 metric tons of CO2 a year. We learned from the same article that cars also emit methane and nitrous oxide in low amounts. These are still dangerous, however, as they have a higher global warming potential than CO2. The second largest contributor of the greenhouse gas effect is electricity at 25%. The use of coal, natural gas, and petroleum accounted for 62% of all electricity generated in 2019. This is compared to nuclear at 20% and other renewable sources at only 18%. The last big contributor is that of industry at 23%. Emissions typically comes from burning off fuel, but it can also come from leaky pipes and hoses, some chemical reactions, and lots of other ways. Now that we learned where the pollution comes from, let's take a look at what it does. There have been many irreversible side effects as a result of greenhouse gases, some small, some large, but no matter the size, it is always negative. As seen in this picture, the melting of glaciers and sea ice is the most noticeable. According to an article on worldwildlife.org named Why is the Ice Melting?, the Arctic is warming twice as fast as the rest of the world and sea ice is declining at 10% every 10 years. The melting of sea ice can be detrimental to ocean currents as well as weather patterns. Another noticeable side effect is the rising ocean levels. According to the 2021 article Is Sea Level Rising by NOAA.gov, between 1994 and 2014, the ocean has rose nearly 2.6 inches, making it the largest annual average in satellite record. According to another article called Sea Level Rise Explained by NationalGeographic.com, the world's sea absorbs 90% of the heat produced by greenhouse gases. Increased coastal flooding would be a major effect from rising sea levels. This could displace thousands, maybe millions of people, as well as cause billions of dollars in damage. There are many more side effects, but a whole speech could be written on this alone. One last side effect is a massive increase in heat waves. Heat Waves and Climate Change by C2ES.org states that over the past decade, record high temps have occurred twice as much as record low temps. This is way up from the 1-to-1 ratio in the 1950s. Heat waves can be harmful to human health, agriculture, and can also cause spikes in energy. After learning the sources of greenhouse gases and the side effects of greenhouse gases, it is clear to see that this is a major issue. So lastly, let's focus on what we can do to fix it. Lots of people think that the world is too far gone and that we can't do anything, but this is completely false. There are lots of little things and big things we can do every day to help. Climate.gov said it best in a 2021 article called What We Can Do to Stop Global Warming. It said, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to slowing or solving global warming. One big help would be switching to renewable energy such as solar or wind power to power your home and everyday life. This would reduce the use of fossil fuels and natural gases as well as the harmful gases produced by them. Another simple fix is carpooling or taking public transportation whenever you can. Less vehicles equals less fuel burnt and less emissions emitted. The best choice is to even walk or ride bike or use electric transportation. One last simple fix is to plant lots of trees. Trees provide shade, which will help save energy and also clean the air around us. To sum it up, global warming is a big deal and needs to be brought to attention. Regardless of people's excuses, attempting to make a difference is extremely important. The effort we put into it now will result in how healthy our planet is in the years to come. Even though it can't be fixed overnight or even in our lifetime, it is still our duty to ensure the best quality of life for future generations. So taking inspiration from Smokey Bear, I'll leave you with this. Only you can prevent global warming.
That was good.